Welcome to the full moon gathering. Really good to have all of you here. So, I implore you, I'm a messenger with good news. As disturbing as I can be at times, I am wanting to guide you back to those tender places in yourself, the place where you can hold yourself with compassion and honesty. If you look beyond my appearance, you may find that I am a voice from your soul, calling to you from places deep within that seek your conscious alignment. I may ask you to alter your diet, get more sleep, exercise regularly, breathe more consciously. I might encourage you to see a vaster reality and worry less about the day-to-day fluctuations of life. These are words from the Felt Sense prayer. And welcome to this time together, and welcome to the home of the full moon gatherings here at Tree Sisters. It's my pleasure and honour to offer this deeply immersive experience of community each full moon. My name is Abby and I am one of the team at Tree Sisters. I really want to invite you into this sacred sanctuary, this place of togetherness for the next hour as we honour this full moon in Pisces, this blue supermoon. I also want to dedicate this call this evening and this offering to a dear friend and dear tree sister who left her body last week and was a very big contributor to these poems and to this practice. So this evening's gathering is in honour of dear Julia Pilgrim. Just want to invite her into the space from where she is right now. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, we find ourselves meeting the dimming lights as we transition from summer to autumn. Whilst in the Southern Hemisphere, life is waking up again. The light is stretching longer, with beings getting ready to emerge. But for this next hour, we just get to be wherever we are. We get to share time under the light of the full moon, to pause and to notice what is being illuminated. So why do we gather like this? Why do we come together under the light of the moon? Why is it important? These gatherings help us to prioritize a restoration of ecological intimacy, to know our place in the weave of all things. They're important for valuing the self-organizing intelligence of the body. They're really about making contact, connecting with ourselves, with each other, and with all of life. And whatever your reason for being here, it's a really great reason and you're really welcome. And there is absolutely a seat in this circle for you. As you probably know, the vision for Tree Sisters has always been to reinstate a culture of reciprocity so that we make it as normal to give back as it currently is to take. We more deeply embed ourselves in the whole. And so these calls are free if you need them to be, whilst they're also an invitation to give back. And so I would love to invite everyone here to offer something up to the trees. And if you're not already a monthly donor, to perhaps consider signing up to become one. So this series of gatherings has been focused on really slowing everything down and reconnecting to the senses, to the way in which we access and experience the world through our bodies. And the intention has been that we find an ever deepening experience of our own belonging through this process. So we will together slow down each moment of experience and invite all of our awareness back into the living landscape of the body. So today we complete this 6-month journey through the landscape of the senses. And we're going to be doing that, exploring our interoceptive awareness, how we perceive sensations from the skin inwards. And before I share any more about what will happen in the call today, I would love to hear from some of you why you've joined the call and where you are in the world, particularly if this is your first time joining. So if you would like to come and share in the chat about where you are, what's brought you here, what was your desire to come together in circle today. It would be lovely to bring some voices into the circle. Very quiet. Jennifer, hello from Maine. 2 of us are here. My friend Anne is on her first full moon call. Welcome, Anne. Really good to have you here. Jules in the Netherlands, a desire to honor the cycles of the moon with nature. Welcome, Jules. Madeline from Germany. I'm here because I deeply love the Tree Sisters gatherings. They're so special and nourishing. Well, thank you for being here, Madeline. Liz from Wyoming. I'm a druid, so I'm all about the trees. This is my first full moon call and just wanted to check it out. Well, welcome. I hope you and your tree friends enjoy. Linda, Albany, New York. Been on a few calls and they're so restorative. Oh, so glad that you find them restorative. Linda, welcome back. Tahira, I'm living in Amsterdam. Enjoy being a donor of Tree Sisters for multiple years. Thank you for your generosity, Zahira. I'm a dancer. I've fallen off my set on Monday and have been, I've just lost your message. Bedridden for 3 days, and this full moon is to surrender and heal for me so I can dance again. Oh, thank you for bringing your story into the space so we can hold you and send you off into a world of dance again when you're ready. Nicole, desire to bring this light of the supermoon to bless our precious tree and forest family. Charlotte in France, welcome. Paul, Massachusetts, celebrate the full moon. David, I'm an interfaith minister and work with conscious leadership in business and loved your website. This is my first call. Well, welcome, David. Good to have you here. Kira, in York, enjoy and feel grounded and connected and fascinated by this moon call subject in particular. Oh, well, this is one for you then, Kira. Jean in Cambridge. Well, I was up at 4 a.m. to watch the moon set. Beautiful halo and rainbow around the moon this morning. Wonderful. So good to feel you all drawing in and gathering. Catherine in Canada, wishing to connect with and honor the trees of the world as I walk here. Thank you all for bringing your voices, and an extra special welcome if this is your first time. So to say a little bit more about what's going to happen, in a moment, there'll be an invitation to settle into yourself and to find comfort and safety for your body in the physical environment that you're in right now. And then we will travel together. And at various points, I'm going to give specific invitations for you to come and share what you're noticing, what's coming up in your body, in your felt sense awareness, any images, feelings, anything at all that you're noticing. It's not possible to get it wrong. And if you're new to these calls, the sharings that come into the chat are what are woven together to form our co-created community offering to the senses. So please take care of yourselves within this practice, and if it feels more available to you to access the practice through your imagination, to just lay and receive, then that's really welcome as well. And you're welcome to move your body in any way that helps you to access felt sensations. So please feel free to dance, sway, rest, roll, stretch, or any combination of these things. Okay, so let's take a breath together, welcoming each other and yourself into this space, into this circle, with all of these people from different parts of the world, different places. And let's begin to really land in ourselves now. And remembering that we might be arriving here from different activities at different points in our day. And there's an invitation to really put down whatever you've been with and show up and be here. This is for you. You've carved this time out. And you're really welcome here in your whole, messy, beautiful, complex self. No need to be any particular way or wear any particular masks. Whatever you're with in this moment is completely welcome. And just to recognize that as we enter our felt sense, it's possible that we might come close to ourselves in a particular kind of way, perhaps touching into sensitive parts or vulnerability, tenderness, grief. All of it is welcome here. But if at any point it feels too much or overwhelming, then I want to invite you to find a way to come back to noticing your contact in real time with the ground, or touching into a place in your body that feels safe or comfortable or neutral, so that you're able to turn to that as a place of resource. So now just beginning to notice your body right here, right now, full of sensations. Perhaps some are strong and loud, perhaps some are more subtle. Noticing that there's layers of sensation, layers of wisdom. And just allowing these sensations to be there. Don't need to try and change them or make them into anything else. Just offering yourself some validation, affirming your own experience in this moment. And then bring your attention now to your heart, to your belly, to your feet. And notice the place where your body is meeting the earth body. Noticing this place of contact of bodies. Feeling how the earth holds you towards her at all times. And perhaps there's an even deeper connection in your awareness. Sense of the roots growing down into the earth, making a kind of deep intertwining and interweaving contact. And noticing the possibility that in this underground world, there's also the roots of others gathered here in the circle. And as you begin softly opening your awareness to include the shared space of all of us through the entanglement of our roots throughout the planet, joined in this exploration today. And inviting you to expand your awareness wider still, to include the bigger relational web of life. This web that guides us, holds us, contains us, meets us, loves us, just as we are. And then very gradually from this expanded space, this expanded perception, just gently bringing your attention back to yourself, back to you in this body, in this moment. Notice that you're breathing. Notice the movement of air in and out of your body. Feeling for where you might locate your center and also your edges. And just playing with moving your awareness between your center and your edges, between above and below, between earth and sky. And simply taking a breath right here. And feeling us come together like the forest, with our own individual trees, gathering into a supportive forest of environments, creating its own diverse and amazing ecosystem. And then noticing, how is your sensory awareness right now? Simply getting a kind of baseline, noticing if one sense feels more dominant, more present than another, more finely attuned. And perhaps this is to do with what you've been engaged with in your day so far. And perhaps this is a more attuned part of your own nature. You're simply beginning by noticing how you're experiencing this moment through all of your senses. And just a passing check-in with what you can see, what you are touching and what is touching you. Perhaps you're present to some tastes or some smells. And then noticing the multi-layered soundscape maybe surrounding you, even just the subtle sounds. Offering some gentle encouragement to the sensory body to open, to become more receptive without force, gently opening up. We've been exploring what's happening in our environments through this series of gatherings, what you've been tasting, how nature appears visually in your space, what you've been listening to and smelling. And today we're going to attune to our elemental selves through noticing what's happening in the body when we discover the elements within us. I want to invite you now to drop your attention into your own internal world, your internal physical world, becoming more aware of the matter of the body, the bones, of the muscles, connective tissue, the organs, the fluids, the breath. Quiet yet complex processes going on beneath conscious awareness. Simply marveling for a moment at all of these phenomena of your magnificent body. And as you take this moment to simply marvel, to bring in this capacity of wonder, what is it like to tune into these layers of phenomena? To blood, breath, and bone. Is it possible to notice these? What is easy to feel? What is harder to access? I want to invite you to come and share in the chat what it's like to tune into these layers. Without disturbing your access to this felt sense as much as you can, just coming and sharing, what is it like to begin to feel? Do I even notice these? What feels easy? Feels more challenging? And coming and adding your voice into the chat, and gently bringing your awareness back into yourself, into this physical matter of your body again. And as you tune back into your felt sense, I invite you to notice the bony structures of your body. From the large girdles, shoulders and pelvis, and the thick bones, to the intricate and tiny ones. Just like the trunk, the branches and twigs of the trees. Tuning into your spine, legs and arms, toes and fingers, and the shoulders and pelvis, feeling how they frame you in this world. How they might provide stability, solidity, support, and grounding. What do you notice when you tune into the bony structures of your body? And finding words that come close to describing what you're noticing, and bringing them to share in the chat. Again, staying as close as possible to your own experience, just bringing your voice. What do you notice when you tune into the bony structures of the body? And once you brought your voice into the space, and bringing your attention back to yourself, and noticing the breath now. rise and fall of the chest, movement of the lungs inside the rib cage, feeling the air move in and out of your nostrils. This air that connects the inner world with the outer world. Noticing the movement of the diaphragm, how it massages awake the tissues of the heart with each breath, connecting us to what we care about and what matters. Feeling into how, as humans, we can know ourselves like our plant siblings. We bring our attention to this ever-loving exchange, this dance of mutual transformation that is breath. And as you tune into the movement of your breath, what is the mood or atmosphere of your breath in your body in this moment? Again, just trusting what arises and come and share in the chat. Just the particular mood or atmosphere of your breath as it moves in your body in this moment. Trusting what comes and bringing your voice in. And then again, bringing your attention back, returning, landing back in the internal universe of your amazing body. And if it feels accessible to you, perhaps bringing your hands to your belly and beginning to sink your awareness into the digestive power within you. Digestion, process, sorting what is needed and what is no longer needed. What will be broken down, turned into energy and nourishment, gifted to your own aliveness, and what needs to be let go of, what needs to be offered back through this processing, through this making space, through this digestive fire. And if your digestion, your stomach, your guts, they had a voice and they could speak, what might they be saying? And bringing these voices to share in the chat. Again, simply trusting what arises and bringing those words. Before once again landing back. And this time feeling into sensing the liquid pathways within. An invitation to tune into the blood being received into the heart, pumped to the lungs and returning oxygenated. Cycle, life-giving. And what about the lymph fluid, supporting your immune system, carrying, removing toxicity? Perhaps you're aware of the saliva in your mouth, the moisture on your breath. What is it like to feel the rivers and tributaries flowing through your internal landscape? Coming again and sharing your voice in the chat. What's it like to tune into all of the ways in which water shows up? So many passageways, so much travel through the internal landscapes. Bringing your voice in. What is it like to notice that? And then returning your attention back inside once again. Feeling deep appreciation of the magnificent complexity of these quiet elemental processes in your body. Doing this astounding, magical work. And I want to invite you now to really drop back into yourself and to find a comfortable place to rest in the space that you're in, to make sure that you have everything that you need. And as you rest into stillness, notice where you're touching and where you're being touched. Notice the points of contact that remind us of this material body, of this matter, of this physicality, our earthly body here and present in our lives right now. And this is really an opportunity to be held by the touch of the earth and to simply receive, as I offer out our co-created prayer poem to feeling and the wonder of the elemental beings, the felt and less felt sensations within us. So do be comfortable and rest. Here to receive from this poem. Like greeting an old friend. Like greeting an old friend, I feel my wildness. Warm heat, digestion. I feel my wildness. Ribbons of connection, tentative. Tentative, I feel more grounded, connected, alive, in awe. I feel a deep gratitude for noticing these life-giving gifts that are taken for granted. I need to close my eyes to feel the other senses. Like greeting an old friend, I need to close my eyes to feel the other senses. Cool taste of watermelon lingering on the tongue, saliva. Fizzy fingers, tentative, feeling my own sense of aliveness. Peaceful, calm, and a release of tensions. I feel aliveness and interconnectedness, woven together with humility and gratitude. Peaceful, calm, and a release of tensions. Feel a deep gratitude for noticing these life-giving gifts that are taken for granted. Ribbons of connection, warm heat of digestion, feeling my own sense of aliveness. Quiet of the center, pulsing, contained but connected. Contained but connected, bones, amazing structural support, holding everything up and together. Heavy under the gravity of life, sensing into my own center and stillness. Tensegrity, looseness, looseness, heavy under the gravity of life. Stability, stability, looseness, tensegrity, connection with the divine. Bones, a core around which all other elements are wrapped. Formidable and kind. Bones offer a frame for my body. Formidable and kind, stability, sturdy, grounded, held and stable. Looseness. Formidable and kind, ancient halls. Conscious napping. Is that a thing? I wonder if trees nap. As rigid as the bones are, they remain flexible with each breath. Like hangers that allow the rest of me to drape and be. Ancient halls, sturdy, formidable and kind. Quiet of the center, pulsing, contained but connected. Fluidity, fluidity, evenness, ancient halls, generous and full, heart and lungs like sisters. Fluidity, aliveness and appreciation between melancholy and hope. Between melancholy and hope, freeing, light-hearted breaths, aliveness and appreciation. I trust my breath to support me. I trust my breath to support me between melancholy and hope, between melancholy and hope. Glad to be noticed. Evenness, generous and full, freeing, freeing. Easy with flow, great openness, light-hearted breath, aliveness and appreciation, great openness. For me, recognizing that breath is life. Cauldron of fire, drink more water. Cauldron of fire, easy with flow, glad to be noticed, freeing. A soothing sensation, the breath that carries connection between the internal and the external. I trust my breath to support me. Generous and full, freeing, easy with flow, great openness, need for soothing, the love of power and transformation, energizing and happy, which releases tension. Need for soothing. Nurture and nourish me, show me kindness. Nurture and nourish me, show me kindness. Digestion in the gut, where all of my microbes do the work that the elements and form in my body require. A mutual support system. A mutual support system. Thank you for the proper nutrition. Feed me, love me, feel the subtle fire. Everything is flow, flow, flow. Magical forces. Magical forces. I'm grateful for the nutrient-rich food, enjoying my own liquid. I'm grateful for the nutrient-rich food, magical forces flowing. It's all so unbelievably remarkable. I take so much care. I take so much care. Everything is flow, flow, flow. Can't feel the blood, but only the mechanisms that move it around, heart and lungs and pulse, where it approaches the surface, just beneath the skin, inside arteries and veins. Sick with anxiety, starved of moisture, needing to flow. Being mostly water, I succumb to the influence of the moon. I succumb to the influence of the moon. The air is charged and alive. Feel the electricity, the moment, the now. Gratitude toward the tree-like arteries working quietly, flowing, magical forces, fluidity, evenness. I trust my breath to support me. Grounded, held, and stable, sturdy, formidable and kind, ancient halls, connection with the divine, stability, looseness, aliveness and appreciation, light-hearted breaths, stability, bones, a core around which all other elements are wrapped. Elements are wrapped. Gravity of life. Center and stillness, contained but connected. Contained but connected, support holding everything up and together. I feel aliveness and interconnectedness, woven together with humility and gratitude. Humility, gratitude, fizzy fingers, cool taste of watermelon, tentative, grounded, connected, alive, in awe. Cool taste of watermelon, quiet of the center, pulsing, pulsing, looseness, formidable and kind, kind, grounded, held and stable, generous and full, aliveness, appreciation, between melancholy and hope, light-hearted breath. Between melancholy and hope, great openness. Breath is life. Full belly from roasted beets and braised cabbage, garden harvest, cauldron of fire. The love of power and transformation. Power and transformation. Show me kindness. Show me kindness. Feed me. Love me. Feel the subtle fire. The subtle fire. The full moon expands my blood's rivers. Magical forces. I take so much care. Thick with anxiety, starved of moisture, needing to flow. Flowing. Flowing. I take so much care. I take so much care. It's all so unbelievably remarkable. I'm grateful. Energizing. Soothing. Kindness. A mutual support system between the internal and the external. Aliveness. Evenness. Generous and full. Grounded. Tensegrity. Gravity of life. Life-giving gifts. Tentative. In awe. Ribbons of connection. I feel my wildness. I feel my wildness. Busy fingers, my own sense of aliveness. Bones amazing. Quiet at the center. Pulsing looseness. Connection with the divine. Bones. Stable. Ancient walls. I wonder if trees nap. Fluidity. Light-hearted breath. Great openness. Cauldron of fire. The love of power and transformation. Power and transformation. Kindness. Flow. 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 Magical forces. Unbelievably remarkable. The air is charged and alive. Feel the electricity of the moment. The now. The tree-like arteries working quietly. Working quietly. The influence of the moon. So much care. So much care. Subtle fire. Kindness. Transformation. Breath is life. Glad to be noticed. I trust my breath to support me. I trust my breath to support me. Magical forces. So much care needing to flow. Stability. Stability. Kindness. Divine. Full. Energizing. Power. Subtle. Rivers. Unbelievably remarkable. Gratitude. Gratitude toward the tree-like arteries working quietly. Simply allowing words of our co-created offering to land into your being, into your body, into your physicality in this moment. as you gently invite your body to awaken, to re-enter this current time and space. I invite you to take a yawn and a stretch, and to very softly return to your own space. Just looking around the space that you're in, feeling the support of the ground, feeling the holding of the circle of all of us gathered in this moment on this earth. And just spend a moment reflecting how it was to hear your words amongst others. And particularly how it was to share and to listen to the often private experiences of what we are sensing or attuned to in our own bodies, what we notice, and how was that to bring into the shared space, to receive from the shared space, and how was it to receive the poem as a whole, as an offering. You're just taking a moment to really check in with yourself and where you're at. And I want to just invite us to take a few moments of integration together, where anything that needs to be spoken to integrate the experience, I would invite you to bring that into the chat. We can just land this experience together before we move off into our separate spaces. Louise says, deeply, beautifully connected. Thank you, Louise. Jennifer, beautiful offering, deeply healing. So glad to hear that, Jennifer. Caroline, our body's an echo of this full circle and the earth all around us. Connection with no visible threads. Yeah, beautiful. Paul, a serene meditation experience. So glad. Thank you, Paul. Catherine, lovely interconnecting together. Cynthia, edge spaces are where the most richness grows. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that. Jules, surprising and soothing. Nicola, good to be part of creating beauty this evening. Zahira, thank you for your softness and kindness and generosity. I hope it brings much healing to you this week. Paul says, gratitude to all for sharing this experience. Joanne, listening was like in the walking in the forest among friends. Beautiful. Well, that's definitely definitely what we're going for. So that's really lovely to hear that was your experience. So thank you. Anything else that feels like it will help you to land? Amy, thank you for the lovely journey into the miraculous network within us and around us. Yeah, so much are just not tuned into all the time. Well, it would be pretty overwhelming probably to be tuned to it all the time, but beautiful to take this space together. So yeah, feeling grateful. Thank you, Kira, Jules, Liz. And yeah, I really want to invite you over this next month to really spend some time listening and tuning in, paying a kind of deep, slow attention to the sensations in your body and what they're speaking to, or what they need, or what they're kind of indicating. and to maybe just notice what's activated in different environments, with different people, with different beings, just for your own curiosity and refining of this kind of attunement. Just taking kind of intentional moments to attune to the voice of the body brings us more into a kind of present moment experience. So I invite you to spend some time. So yeah, there's a few more voices in here. Gita, really felt the connection between my microcosm and the macrocosm. Beautiful. Linda, lovely to flow with this. Louise, and now for the moon. Yes, it's not quite dark here, but perhaps the moon will be visible. Kendra, feeling lighter and the gentle grace of all that is in us and around us. I love that description. Gentle grace of all that is in us and around us. Really wonderful. So thank you all for bringing your voices and participation. Really appreciate it, especially if it was your first time and you jumped into following the guidance. And I hope you will join us again next time. And I also want to say thank you to Ria for their support today, and also to Mel for being here in the background, for holding steady tech things. And yeah, wishing you all much love for this moon, this super moon, this blue moon, and hoping that all the magic surrounding you will be illuminated by the light of the moon. And next month in September, we will begin a new series of gatherings where we'll be going deeper into the elemental landscapes within our bodies. So this was a kind of bridging into that new series. So I look forward to next month and to beginning this new 6-month cycle. So thank you so much for being present and bringing yourself so wholeheartedly, and deep gratitude from me and from all of us at Tree Sisters. And I look forward to being with you again next month.